Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yinzer Brothers podcast. I'm TJ. I'm here with my brother Tim. And once again, you are hanging out with the Yinzer Bros. We're here today to talk a little bit about the Steelers' offseason moves. We're not used to having such free agent moves, Tim. We've had a lot of holes to fill this year. We're going to walk through the big moves, maybe a person at a time. But before we do that, Tim, how are you doing in the offseason? How is your offseason so far?
Are we talking like minus the Steelers stuff or just?
I'm just talking about your life in general, Tim. How is your life in general doing?
My life revolves around Steelers, so I mean,
this is true. Tim texts me constantly. He somehow you're connected so much into the Steelers stuff. If Mike Tomlin develops a zit, you have a guy that tweets on it, and you send me that. I mean, it's amazing how tied into the Steelers you are, Tim.
TJ, I'm weathered, man. My body, I'm weathered. If you want to know, that's what's going on. I'm weathered.
So why are you weathered? What makes you weathered, Tim?
I mean, weather. Everything. Look at me. Look at my face. Look at me.
You got how many? You got 41 years on those tires? 41 years?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's bad.
Some tread on those tires. Yeah.
I saw a couple pictures of me in the mirror.
Yeah.
Things weren't. I mean.
And Melissa's a lucky woman. She's a lucky woman.
Things aren't looking good, man. We tried to potty train the little one.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Do you want me to grab the sticker thing to show you real quick?
Yeah, go grab the sticker. Okay. Yeah.
I'll be right back in a second here.
As Tim leaves, you see his big head there. That's great. He's wearing that mask that I don't know, it's supposed to help him in his working out. Apparently it doesn't help him with his looks at all. I don't know, but here we go. Now Tim is returning with stickers. What stickers are these for, Tim? Are these potty training stickers?
This is a chart that every time, she does something, you're supposed to give her a sticker. Put a sticker on the chart.
Sure.
You want to see the chart?
Yeah, let's see the chart. So I don't see any stickers on the chart, Tim.
That explains how good the potty training is going, TJ.
So what do you think is tougher, Tim? Potty training Olivia or being the GM for the Steelers?
You know what? I really haven't done anything with the potty training, but it's the first time I've seen my wife. It's the first time I've seen my wife.
Wait. Are you telling me you're complaining about the potty training, but you have had no active part in the potty training? Is that what you just said, Tim?
I did the sleep training stuff, so it was like we had to take, we're taking a shot of this.
Sure.
But I have never seen a human being dominate my wife like my child has dominated her. Like TJ, if we were playing a series to 7,
yeah, she
hasn't even been in one game yet. I mean, blown out.
Oh my goodness. Well,
so between that, the weather one day is 60, 70 here. The next day it's 20 and snowing.
That's the Windy City, Chicagoland. Welcome to the Plains.
I mean, baseball, don't care. I mean,
Pirates, you might as well just make it. I mean, we don't even have a chance. We've been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs already, Tim, and the season hasn't even started yet. The Pirates we're already eliminated.
Hockey doesn't start till June. I mean, and now I gotta.
But we have free agent signings with the Steelers. So this keeps us occupied. And then the draft will be here soon in July, right? Oh no, the draft.
I hope the draft isn't in July. No, it's in April.
It's in April, yeah. It's in April. Yeah. July is when we get things kicked off. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Steelers. I mean, obviously we've had a lot of holes to fill this year. Before we do that, I'm just going to throw this out there. I think so far the best free agent signing we've had has been Flores. Bringing him in, I think, has already at least given us a leg up on a better defense this year. What are your thoughts about that, Tim?
It can't get any worse. They were the worst rushing defense in the league last year.
So here's the question. Are you going to miss our old defensive coordinator?
TJ, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything at all. All he did speak in riddles. That's all he did.
That's true. Well, now, do you think because Flores has got a little bit of a different pedigree, Do you think Tomlin's going to let him actually run the defense?
Do I think Tomlin's going to let him run the defense? I mean, you have to now, right? A little bit,
I think.
but we'll see. I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, TJ, I don't know, man. Tomlin took over calls for LeBeau. Just think
Yeah.
about that. Like, what makes you think like he's going to let any of those dudes call anything? If you're making sure LeBeau is not calling your defense, that dude is like he was like the wizard.
He was. Now, let's be real. I mean, LeBeau back in that day was what, about 97? You think he was about 97 when he was doing that?
TJ, if I'm like LeBeau was at 97 and at 60, I will be the happiest camper on earth. 90, what his age was, and he was coaching football. TJ, I'm not gonna have my license.
He was 80.
I'm gonna be.
Yeah. Tim, the
TJ,
chances you may not be here, Tim, at 80.
If I was a betting man, and I had to go to the casino right now, I put a large wager on that I wouldn't hit 80.
So I think Flores. This is where I knew Flores was going to be a big deal when they signed Jack. Miles Jack. He talked with Flores.
There's a big difference between, do I think Flores is going to coach, or do I think getting Flores was a good recruiting thing? I do think it was a good recruiting thing. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to get some people here, crossing my fingers. But, I mean...
You're right. It can't hurt us.
What is he going to be here for a year, TJ, realistically?
Yeah, because somebody's going to grab him next year as a coach. You have to be an idiot to not grab him as a coach.
One of the only great things is I think if we lose him, we get like comps, 2 third-round comp picks or something.
That's beautiful.
But, I mean...
We'll take him. We'll take all the picks we can. So
there was one big fish. There was one big fish that we probably should have had because of Flores, and we don't.
We'll talk about that. Well, let's talk about quarterbacks. Obviously, that's the biggest hole to fill. We had all these quarterbacks floating around. You kind of knew Rodgers was going to be a diva and do what he did. Russell Wilson was, he was going somewhere, even though they said no, he's staying here.
Yeah.
So of all of the plethora of quarterbacks, the Steelers landed on Mitchell Trubisky. Tim, what are your thoughts about Mitchell Trubisky?
TJ, that will probably go down. Let me put it this way. I live in Chicago, so everybody knows that. I've watched that dude for 4 years. Everybody knows that. The day they signed Mitchell Trubisky will either go down as one of the greatest days for me as a sports fan in Chicago, or it will be one of the absolute worst. And I am teetering on the absolute worst.
Well, Tim, that's your mojo.
Well, here's my first thing. I've watched him, TJ. I'm like 98.7% sure he can't read a defense. I'm pretty sure of it. Every time I saw him in Chicago, they had to cut off half the field, so he was rolling out a lot. I understand Matt Nagy was a doofus, but TJ, I don't think I really don't think he can read a defense. I think you take past his first read, he's done. Is he a nice guy? Sure. I mean, what softened the blow is knowing the contract he got.
Yeah, they got a good deal.
When they were talking $12, $13 million, I was like, how did that dude go from $2 million to 12 or 13? He threw 8 passes for Buffalo, and one was intercepted.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Of course, that was in a blowout against Indy. That was a blowout against Indy too. So
he still. I don't know how your stock goes up without playing.
Well, sometimes you need this. Well, this is Josh Allen talking about our Mitchell Trubisky. Our Mitchell. He says this. He says the dude Trubisky is an athlete. I don't think people really understand that. You give him leeway in an offense to have that mindset, to see it, do it. We trust you. His quote: "He's going to kill it."
TJ, I also heard Ben Roethlisberger say Dewey Haskins can throw the ball through a car wash without getting wet.
Well, he can. I mean, we're not talking about that's not gameplay. That is just
TJ.
That's throwing it through a ar wash.
Dewey Haskins could be playing for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders up in the CFL.
He might be down
TJ,
the road.
I just watched too much of him, and everybody goes back. Well, he won at the Bears. I get you. That first year, he took him to the playoff twice. That first year, he took him to the playoffs. TJ, they're the number one defense in the league. I think they were giving up I think they were giving up 13 points a game.
Yeah, sure.
So you could probably stick me and you behind there, and we can probably get 7 or 8 wins on that. If your defense is going to have 12,
maybe.
The other year they went to the playoffs, they were 7 seed.
Yeah,
and I think they were 500.
Yeah.
TJ, I'm sorry. They better have a plan B.
I
get my drift?
I think the plan B is either they're going to draft somebody or Mason.
That BB plan is a brutal plan.
I know, but we're going to see
that dude's having a rough week. Woof.
You think Mason's out? Didn't his girlfriend dump him too?
Yeah, dumped him. It's TMZ. He's having a rough week.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, what do you think's going on in his head right now?
What kills me about that dude is like, even in the offseason, not one of the players were like, yeah, Mason.
Well, they
And
know.
then you hear them, but then you hear them like sign Mitch, and Mitch is like, he reached out to me, AB, they all reached out to him. I'm going,
yeah.
Everybody must really hate Mason.
Well, he's not very personable, too. I think they know what he is. But, as bad as Mason's weeks was, it could have been worse. He could have been Baker Mayfield, Tim.
I think Baker Mayfield, the best thing is happening to Baker Mayfield that could possibly happen.
He's getting a one-way ticket out of Cleveland, Tim?
Whoever Baker Mayfield goes to, maybe my second favorite team in the league. I hope he kills it. I hope he kills it.
I mean, well, there's a chance. Maybe he may be going to Houston. Maybe he's part of the deal.
He's not part of the deal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's either going to, they're saying he requested he wants to go to the Colts.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I could see that. Would you want him as a backup, Tim?
TJ, I'd want him as a, oh, no, I can't say that. That almost came out of my mouth. I was going to say,
no, Tim, that's crazy talk.
TJ, but you put them side by side. Who are you taking? Realistically, him or Mitch?
I don't know. They're both, I think I want to see what Mitch has got. I want to see what he's got.
TJ, you didn't see what he had in Chicago?
I don't think we did. I think he had seasons that he was hurt. I think he was healthy 1 year, and I just don't think it was a good fit. Did you hear some of the?
That's the same thing with Baker.
But did you hear some of the stuff? Like the head coach Nagy wouldn't even speak to him. How is that possible?
I would. There's a couple people that I wouldn't like. If I was Tomlin, I wouldn't speak. I wouldn't speak to Mason.
But what coach does that? That makes no sense to me with your quarterback. So we got Mitchell Trubisky. Let's talk about a few of the other guys. So how do you feel the Steelers did as far as attacking the offensive line? Here's the 3 big ones. You had Mason Cole. He's a guard and a center. Not bad. He's not a juggernaut.
I'm lukewarm on him, but he's got to be better than any dead body we were throwing out there last year.
He was. And then, obviously, we have, you got Chooks, which was interesting to me. What do you think about Chooks signing? Is that just now again his is that insurance for us? I mean, do you think that means they're going to draft a tackle? What do you think that is? He's young. Did they see something we didn't see?
TJ, I don't think they are. I mean, the only thing that's nice about that deal is you can get out of it after the first year. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that much money.
Yeah.
But who knows? He actually could have been getting offers from everybody else. I mean, he's what, 24, 25?
He's 24. He's young.
So, I mean, for all the crap people gives him, I don't think he was
terrible.
Brutal.
Yeah.
He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. But then again, you don't know because Ben was getting rid of the ball in like a millisecond.
Yeah.
So,
that's true. And you don't even know how much of the offense was really installed anyway either. I mean, it's just weird. And then you got James Daniel, who I think is a good pickup. Now, here's another thing too. When you look at those 3, they're all like 24, 25. They're young.
You could see the plan what the Steelers were doing this whole entire time. You could see exactly what they were doing. They were trying. I mean, we'll go through all the free agents, but they're trying to get younger, which they did.
They did.
You know what I mean? That dude at first, Bear. I'm going to my mind. I'm going, holy crap, we're picking up Bear crap. but then you read, you're like, he's 24, and like everybody's high on him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like even when I hear the people in Chicago being like the sports people are like, dude, I can't believe they got rid of him,
Yeah.
type of stuff, and I'm going, I haven't heard one bad thing about that dude.
No, I've heard nothing but good too. Athletic, smart. I've heard all of it.
So I think that
So
made that was to me that made up a little bit for the Trubisky thing, man. Between geez, it was about TJ. I was sad. I
yeah.
was sad.
Well, I mean, maybe they're taking again. Sometimes you think you need to have a Mahomes to win everything. And look at LA this year. LA, Bradford
Oh,
was decent, but
Bradford,
what was what
Stafford,
or Stafford? What
Stafford
was
was
so?
very.
But what was the when you look at the Super Bowl, what was the strength of the Super Bowl? Was their defense? Stafford didn't like set the world on fire. He threw the passes he had to when he needed to. That's it. I mean, that's all.
You
That's all
got?
that you do.
Are you high? Are you kidding
No,
me? TJ, when's the last time anybody's won a Super Bowl with a with a Trubisky?
well, it's been
Flacco?
it's well, probably yeah, it's been a long time. But
And
what I'm
how did they
saying is,
how did they win that?
well,
They had
who do
white
you think?
suit, they had white suit, and they had Ed Reed just killing people.
Who was the better quarterback in the Super Bowl?
I think it was a toss up, dude. Stafford made the throws when he needed to.
He did, but he made it at the
Burrow,
very end. He won at
but,
the end. Who
but,
was the better quarterback?
I think Stafford because Burrow actually had one. If you take that one long touchdown, that was a pass interference call out of that.
Mhm.
Burrow doesn't even throw for 150 yards.
So the defense showed up. So I think if you have a great defense, if you got something that's aggressive, a great defense makes your offense a little bit better because they got to swim uphill.
Let me put it this way though, TJ. It's tough to get, and I get you. If you're talking at a one game setting, that happens. To
Mhm.
get to that spot, that's tough to do without. Like even Flacco when the Ravens won it, Flacco went on a ridiculous tear in the playoffs.
Oh, he
I
did.
mean,
He did.
it was one of the all time things that he did truthfully. So normally when you have those second tier guys,
Mhm.
yeah, you may get it for a game and you get lucky. It's a Super Bowl. It's you got to get through the playoffs, especially in this AFC.
Mhm.
I don't care, TJ. You could be throwing out the '70s Steelers with some of these offenses out there. You ain't gonna make it through. You ain't gonna make it through a round.
Well, that's true if the offense is clicking. I mean, so great defense is part of the game too. It just is. And some of these guys, I look back to the Mahomes. When you look to Cincy and KC, Mahomes he wilted at the end of that game. He just wilted. He looked like he was just chucking the ball around. I mean, he wilted, and that's crazy. And some would say that Mahomes is probably he's definitely in the top two of the league for quarterbacks, right? Pick him or Allen.
Yeah,
Pick one of those two
yeah,
guys.
I
So I think
agree.
anybody can struggle. Let's keep going. Let's talk about they flopped to the defensive side of the ball. We signed
Mhm,
some of our own, which is good, but they picked up a
mhm,
cornerback from Buffalo, Levi Wallace. What are your thoughts
mhm.
about him?
I think he's just a dog. I mean, just I think he's somebody can be a pretty good comparison, like a Brian McFadden type of dude. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? It tells me a lot when everything you heard from about him was Buffalo kept trying to replace him with somebody, and they couldn't.
Yep.
So he kept doing that, and he was a number one corner last year because White got hurt.
Hmm.
And you look at some of his stuff, he played well to get him for what they got him for.
I know.
I mean,
Colbert did a great job. Even when you look down this list, I mean, Chooks is a little bit high, but like you said, the way that the contract is structured, they
mhm,
can hit the eject button after the first year. He did a very good job. And then you look at
mhm,
Miles Jack too, 26 years old. Now again, he didn't have a
mhm.
great year last year in Jacksonville, but who did?
I agree with you. I agree with you, man. I mean, that is a ridiculous upgrade over Schobert or whoever that they had last year. It just is.
It is. So
I
do
mean,
you do you think him coming in is going to help Bush be better? Do you think it was just too much pressure for Bush?
I don't put him. Let me put it this way: everything I've heard from Jack, I heard he's good and athletic, but I still don't think he's a dude that's going to have the green dot on him. Everything I heard, like in Jacksonville, they had to take it away. It was too much for him, too much
Hmm.
thinking. That's where I think maybe Flores is going to come into play. I'm hoping. I don't know how much. Let me put it this way: I don't know how much Jack's going to help Bush. I think they're going to, complement each other on the field. I think Flores is going to help Bush more than anything.
Hmm.
I mean, so put it this way: if Bush doesn't step up his game 30% from last year,
He's
they're
done
in
after
deep.
this.
They're in deep doo doo.
Yeah, he's
Deep
done.
doo-doo, man.
They probably, and I wonder if they, I don't know if they feel like some of the younger guys are ready to step up, but they need to do something with it. This was a stat with Jackson that impressed me. He played 94% of the snaps. As a linebacker, that's ridiculous.
He's
94%.
he's not a thumper.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be able to cover dudes, which is great.
Yeah.
He was I think he was before he switched to linebacker, or he was a linebacker in college and he didn't play running back or something of the sort. He was a running back, and the dude has skills. He's shifty, so I think the cover report to it. I think he's going to be the guy that's on the field at third down. The linebacker covering people. I mean, they still got they signed Balboa. I mean,
your guy took Henry out. That's his claim to fame.
I mean, put him out there as a third run. It's a third backer to smack some people in the face. Fine, I'm good with that. I don't want him starting. No. I don't need to see that.
I would love to see them pick up one more thumper or somebody to get behind Bush. It's not bad. Now maybe it's somebody they draft. I don't know. I
think they get a guy like Buddy. What's his name? Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Buddy. Who names your kid Buddy?
I don't know, but they seem to be pretty high on him too. And
I think he's going to be your thumper dude.
Yeah, he might.
Buddy. I'm going to start calling him Buddy the Ox.
Buddy the Ox. They picked up, they re-signed Witherspoon again, which I think was a good signing for them.
I'm 50-50 on that dude, man. When I see that dude celebrating down 47 points, I just don't like it. So we'll see.
I love his length. I love that he's tall. I just love his length.
I like that they got him for $4 million.
Yeah,
I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But
so Hayden's. I mean, that's the writing on the wall for Hayden. We're not going to see Hayden again, unless maybe they get him super cheap. I don't know.
No. Where are you going to put him?
Yeah, well, maybe he's a backup. I don't know. You got to add some depth.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what they do with if they bring Edmonds back or if they go for the Honey Badger.
TJ, I would. Oh. I want me some
honey
badger.
Did you ever think
me some honey badger?
Did you ever think you'd be rooting for Edmonds, though, Tim?
TJ, who said I was rooting for Edmonds?
You don't want to bring Edmonds back?
Wait. You must have me constricted with something.
So let's say they don't get the honey badger.
I said I would settle for Edmonds for no more than $3 million a year. That's it.
That seems about right. I don't.
Because to me, in my mind, he's like a 5th round dude, or she should have been drafted. They get paid like around $3 million a year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was. So let me ask you a question: if they drafted him in the 4th round, would you be so hard on him, Tim?
Probably not. I don't know. No, I probably would. Well, you know what? He was good last year. He was serviceable last year.
He was.
Those 4 years before that, he stunk. I don't even know if he was a 4th round draft pick. I would have been like, let me ask you a question. Let me flip this back to you.
Yeah.
Yinz.
Yeah.
If he was a 4th round draft pick, do you think he would have been staying on the field for 5 years?
No, I don't. But I mean, the Steelers. Who would they put in?
That's all you needed to say, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I think they tried to replace him. They brought Sean Davis back and a bunch of guys that nobody could take a spot.
No, they had him in Mika's position.
Mm-hmm.
They never tried to replace Edmonds.
Yeah.
Because Tomlin thought he had the good Edmonds brother the whole time. He was like, "What happened?"
He got the wrong one, huh? I don't know. I would like to see the Honey Badger back there. I think that'd be great. And it looks like they're going to.
The only thing that's been nervous, like I said, I didn't even think about it until like
he's not very
today.
Yeah.
Somebody brought that up today. I'm going, dude. Like Edmonds was a lot of times. Edmonds was playing in the box.
Mm-hmm. He was. He's a big guy.
Do you think the Honey Badger can do that? I don't want Mika doing that.
No. You want Mika being a ball hawk. You want him out there.
But Honey Badger's like that too, though, man.
I know. You put them both back there. I tell you what, it makes that defensive backfield pretty tough.
Well, put it this way: you bring a guy like that in, I think it takes a lot of pressure off your corners that you're paying $4 million for.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it. I can see it happening. I can. I like what they've done with the defense.
Let me ask you a question now. What price do you think? I mean, what price would you realistically bring him in at? That's the $1 million question.
I think, I don't know. I think he's not. I don't think he's going to get the money that everybody thinks he is. I don't think anybody does.
Well, okay. Casey cut him because he was going to make about 14 this year. he's not getting bad,
No, nothing
But to
close
me,
to that.
do you bring him? Say it's a 3-year, $31 million deal with about 17. Do you do that?
How old is he?
29.
No.
You don't do that 10 a year. 10 a year.
I think the Steelers are more in the 2-year. I could see the Steelers doing like a 2-year, maybe 16 million, 18 million. That's it.
So you're saying you're going about eight and a half, 9.
Yeah, I think I would say if they could get it for 7, that'd be great. But you got to just still have to sign Mika. So there has to be some money for Mika.
TJ, they can sign him to a big contract, and that's not going to hurt their cap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think you do that. Well, I mean, and here's the reality too. I mean, we got some other things that we still have to fill. Let's talk about one other guy too. I don't know if you realize this. We picked up another. We lost Ray, your guy. Ray's gone.
I saw people from the Niners ecstatic that they got that dude. I'm like, you obviously didn't see the bag of crap that I was dealing with.
No, but we picked up.
All they put out was like his stats, like he was leading in punt returns. I was like, you don't understand. You had to hold your breath every time he was back there because he was going to catch the ball.
That's true. But did you see who we picked up? We picked up to replace him, the gunner.
That dude looks like he's from DuBois, PA. And he's out on
He does. He makes Brian Switzer look svelte, look big, look huge.
I saw a picture of him in the New England locker room. He had no shirt on. Dude, he is like, when I say white, he is like pale white. He had a John Deere hat on and a big thing in his lip. I was like,
so is he like Brian Switzer, just like dressed up? Did he come in disguise?
dude, I don't know. He was an all pro, TJ.
I know. They said he's fast. They said he's good.
This dude's gonna be. He's either gonna immediately. He'll be on the list by either week 4 or he's gonna be my favorite player of your team by week 4. It's one or the other. But this dude looks like, I mean, I don't know. Anytime you can get a white guy from New England, I think you're doing okay. I don't know.
They do something with these magical white guys that,
He just looks. I couldn't believe. I thought I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who it was, and I saw a picture. I'm going, this dude is going to turn. Like, can you imagine, like, the Yinzer dialogue with Trubisky and this dude? Their names.
That'll be great.
It's going to be like Yahtzee for Yinzers. They're going to be like,
It's going to be great. So you look at this rest of the defense. I mean, we still don't know. I still think they got to bring in somebody big up front because you still don't know about Tuitt still. And then Alu, we don't know. He's 35, dude. I don't know. I mean, how are you feeling at 41, Tim? He's 35, still banging with the big guys.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, man. We started back to work. I've been going, back to the office, and we have a gym at the office. I've been working out down there. I haven't used weights in like 2 years. I was like, I'm gonna grab. I've been using bands. Bands.
How does bands working for you?
My joints weren't screaming at me, so it was okay. I was in there. I was like, I'm gonna do some weights, TJ. My body feels like I've been sitting out in a hailstorm for weeks straight.
That's great.
And I'm not talking like little pint-sized hails. I'm talking golf ball-sized hails just ricocheting off me.
So, I mean, do you think? I mean, there's some big free agents out there. Some beef in the front. Do you think they're gonna draft somebody? You think they're gonna go after the big Georgia guys, or what do you think they're gonna do?
I think if Tuitt wasn't coming back, they would have cut him by now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head.
Hey, Cam says he's coming back. He says he wants to play.
TJ, my thing is, regardless if Tuitt's coming back or not, don't care. If he comes back, it's great. I still think you need to address that early in the draft.
Yeah.
You got to get that. To me, that defensive line needs to get. You got to infuse some younger bodies that aren't named Badu or Louderface.
or Bugs. Or Bugs is gone, right? He's done.
Let me put it this way: you got to put somebody more than a 6th or 7th round pick in that defensive line.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
you just have to.
You do.
But to me, the most glaring thing they need to get, they got to get another receiver.
Oh yeah. Well, they lost Washington today too. Washington's he went to Dallas, and then JUJU went to.
if anybody in this godforsaken place thought James Washington was going to come back to the Pittsburgh, I have a piece of land to sell you in my backyard.
Well, how much did he get but you're Dallas is like, we'll use him to help to replace like Cooper and a few guys. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Watch, I bet he's good. I bet he's good. For some odd reason, I think he's going to be good.
So Dak Prescott is gonna make James Washington. He couldn't do anything with. I mean, Amari Cooper was okay. What is he going to do with James Washington, Tim?
I don't know. That is a good point because
Come on, Tim.
Dak Prescott is the black Kirk Cousins. So I don't know.
That's true. And then JUJU got a 1-year deal for $11 million.
Yeah, but I heard
one-year deals aren't like they don't give you a ton of confidence, Tim.
Yeah, but if you're going for a 1-year deal, there's like 2 places I want to go from a wide receiver for a 1-year deal. That juggernaut's one of them.
Well, how many balls is he going to get there?
I think he's going to get a lot because I mean, what are you going to do on the inside?
Well, I mean,
either Kelsey or him.
If you're going to pick one of the two, I mean, so he might get. I mean, so is he their third receiver? Is $11 million for 1 year third receiver money, Tim?
Steve, did you read the contract?
No, I didn't read it. I just saw $11 million 1 year.
It escalates up to that. The base is 3.7.
Are you serious?
3.75. It escalates up to 10 point whatever. I'm assuming it escalate. He wouldn't have signed it if he didn't think he could make the at least $8-9 million. I don't think Pittsburgh was offering him a contract.
You might be right because I mean, think about this. I mean, how many balls are you going to get in Kansas City? Now, I will say this: his most productive years was when he was opposite Brown. So maybe with Tyreek Hill, maybe he'll be more of what he used to be because he doesn't have to carry the load. He's not a number 1 receiver. I don't even know if he's a number 2 receiver. He might be a bottom tier number 2, maybe a bottom tier number 2.
I think that's accurate. I do. To me, I thought he would sync up better with like a Niners or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a team that's going to bully the heck out of you. You know what I mean? I think he would have fit in well there. To me, it's like the biggest thing the Steelers have been missing for probably I'm going to say 4 years now. They need a vet in that wide receiver room. I love JUJU. He's been in the league forever, but he's still 24. He was in the league since he was 19. They need some dude that's going to spit nails and kind of say, hey, no. This is the way you act like a professional.
So who do you think that is?
Jarvis Landry. I would bring him in 3 seconds, man.
I would too.
I would too. That dude, he eats nails and just spits out thunder. He's tough.
What do you think he's going to go for?
TJ, you can get him. My guess is I could get him for like $7 million.
How old is he? You know?
I think he's 30.
Yeah.
I think.
You know who else got released today too was Cole Beasley.
TJ, I don't want that clown on my team.
But I thought you were collecting white receivers.
We had no. There's only room for one white receiver on the roster. I wouldn't because here's the thing. If you bring him on the team, I wouldn't know the difference between the Du Bois guy and this dude. I'd be like, which one's which?
That's true. That's true.
To me, it's like you need to get a veteran receiver, and then you need to draft one.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Early. I'm talking like round 2. Early. Yeah. TJ, what did I say this from? What have I said this from? We've talked offline. What do they need on that? What do they need in receivers? That receiving core. They need somebody with OS speed.
Yeah, you're right.
They do. They can blow the top.
There's a lot of fast receivers this year. A ton of fast receivers.
It's the fastest receiving core in NFL history, draft wise. How old is Jarvis Landry? I can't even spell.
It'd be great if he was like 28. That'd be great. 30's like just a little bit.
It's 29.
Oh, there you go. That's okay. If he's on the on the bottom side of 30, that's okay.
TJ, he's 2-year deal. Yeah, he's a dog. You put him in the slot.
Yeah,
he's a dog, man.
Yeah.
And you think he's going to be doing TikToks with Chase?
See, I like
Because to
Kelsey.
me,
Kelsey will keep Juju in line too. Kelsey just
oh,
there's
dude,
no.
oh no, wait, can you pick him and Mahomes' brother? The planet's going to explode. They're going to be doing TikToks back and forth.
Mahomes family, they are off the chain. Holy cow!
It's going to be like the Spider-Man meme. They're like pointing at each other.
It'll be crazy. It'll be nuts. No, I think you're right. I think we need to fill those holes. I do like when you look at the offense. I think they're given. I'm kind of curious to see what Najee is going to do this year with a decent offensive line, because I think he's a horse, man. I think he's a horse.
I do too. I just got like, what are you going to like? Have you just officially said to the fake Pouncey the third fake Pouncey twin that you're?
You talking about Green?
TJ, I see these down in like Florida working out with the Pounceys.
I see that. Yeah,
I'm going, dude. Like they showed full pictures of that dude's body. His legs look like toothpicks.
he has skipped leg day for about 12 years.
I'm going. I'm like, how do you're center and your legs look like pipe cleaners. They look like Forky from Toy Story 4. The guy that
Forky.
That's what he looks like. I'm going. The only thing I'm thinking is like it's okay. I can get past the leg thing as long as the Pouncey twins are taking you out and like you're actually shooting people. That's kind of.
They could be. Lakeland, Florida is pretty rough. They could be. It's really rough.
If you're learning how to murder people and you kind of put that into the field, okay, yeah. Slide him to guard. We're good to go. Yeah. Slide him as a backup guard.
Yeah, so I don't know. He'll be a backup at best. I think he's just. It is what it is. I agree with you that they got to grab a receiver. What surprised me, they'll grab. It's a pretty deep draft for linemen too. They'll probably grab another lineman at some point. Grab a tackle. It's easier to grab a tackle than it is to pay a tackle. I think we'll see what Moore does. If Moore continues to develop, he can be decent.
I think he's going to be fine, man. He was good. He was fairly. He seemed like he's a kind of stalwart guy they're going to have for X many years. I mean, dude, you figure cross your fingers, if that line pans out.
Yeah,
I think the oldest person on that line is 26 years old.
Yeah, you're right.
20. I mean, you could be looking if you ever got somebody that could play quarterback with the weapons around there.
Well, that does make you think. I mean, they've addressed a ton of stuff, in free agency. If they can, I'd like to see them add another big body, like you said, maybe in the draft or something like that. But why would it be nuts? I mean, if you're the Steelers and someone like Malik Willis slides to 20, do you grab him?
That's the $1 million question, man. It's like, to me, it's like if you're staring at that hoss from Georgia that's like 6'8", 380 pounds, he runs like a 4.6. Do you know how freakish that is? That
is. He's crazy. I mean, I think you grab him if you get a chance. Yeah.
That's like a bear.
Yeah.
Like you're chased down by an actual bear.
It is. An
actual bear.
I think the Steelers are in a good position because they can actually still draft, I think, the best available athlete at 20.
But let me ask you a question. Let me give you a hypothetical question. If you got the bear there, if you got the other guy from Georgia, I think who's 340, he's a freak too. You got Malik. What are you doing?
I think this is what they do. I think they go defensive line. I think they grab that kid from Georgia if he's available. Is that Jordan? Is that who that is?
I would just call him. His new name would be Bear. Bear.
I think you grab him because I still think you don't know the upside of Trubisky yet. He's a second overall pick.
You know the upside of Trubisky. I know the upside. TJ, I have been talking.
Name one quarterback that the Bears have developed over the last years. Just name one.
It's great, TJ. I've seen enough. I saw enough. I can't read defense.
When I think
when somebody can't read a defense. When somebody can't read defense.
But that's more than just reading the defense. That's taking your offense and slapping it against the defense too. If you don't understand the offense, then the defense is going to do anything.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
A small question to kind of counterpoint that?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to bring the mic up a little bit closer to me. So can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear with this one?
You're fuzzing out though. You don't want to fuzz out for the listeners.
Okay. What on God's creation makes you think Matt Canada is going to produce an offense that's going to make him successful?
Now that's the $1 million question. I don't know.
No, TJ, that's not the $1 million question. It's the $1 question because I'm pretty confident that that dude he ain't it. He ain't it.
Yeah. Well, he's going to have a shot because you could tell. I think Trubisky leans toward his style, that RPO style. With the
What the
with the
hell is
jet
his
sweeps.
style? What the hell is his style?
I don't think we really saw it last year. I think there was. I mean, what could Ben do other than stand in the pocket and chuck the ball? He was not the Ben of old. What you were very limited what he could do. So you got to throw passes within 2 seconds, or else he was a statue. He was a Greek statue back there, Tim. So I don't know. Now I don't think I'm not saying he's great, but mate, let's just see what he's got for a year. Let's see what he's got. Hopefully, Tomlin.
You pass on the quarterback, and hopefully you get one next year.
Maybe. I mean, there's going to be better quarterbacks coming out next year.
But you're going to be in the same spot. You're going to be drafting 18 to 20. It is what it is.
Yeah, you will be, but at least you'll have a year to see Trubisky and say, okay, this is what we know. What we have with him, we know the commodity. So like next year, do you address QB with free agency again, or do you draft somebody again? Guys like you know what you get with Pickens, and again, I'm not. I mean, he's a decent quarterback. I think everybody's looking for like the next Mahomes and the next Allen. Could you win a Super Bowl with a Kenny Pickett on a great team? Why not?
That's the $1 million question. You don't know.
Yeah, why not? I think we get enamored with like the Lamar Jacksons and stuff.
But here's my thing. Kenny Pickett, I like him with the Pitt. Do I think he's going to be serviceable? Yeah, I think he's going to be all right. But I don't think you take him if he's there at 20 over anybody else, like the guy from Georgia, because Pickett to me he's not going to sit for a year. Mm-hmm. He's the most ready to go right there.
He is.
TJ, the more I watch Malik Willis, and I know he played at Liberty, dude, that dude has some freaky talents.
He does.
In division you're in right now, in the conference you're in right now,
mm-hmm.
You have Trubisky play for you, let him sit. You got that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. Like, you draft him, and what if Trubisky does work out? Okay, you could always trade Malik Willis.
You can
for draft capital.
You can absolutely. You can.
So there's a lot of there's just dudes I haven't seen with that freakish talent.
I agree.
Let me see. If that dude's 6'4",
mm-hmm. Oh, he's the number one draft pick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's freakish skills. He's like a Josh Allen, but he's 6 foot. The same qualities.
He does. He's got a cannon for an arm. On that. Again, if they can just make sure that his accuracy is a little bit better, I think he'll be great.
That's the thing on Mitch though too.
Mm-hmm. It is.
His accuracy stinks.
So here's the reality. I mean, so was that year in Buffalo enough to tune his accuracy better, like they did with Josh Allen?
I don't, TJ. My thing is, I don't think you can tune your accuracy if you're not playing.
So I know this. So the Giants coach was Josh mm-hmm. Allen's guy, mm-hmm. and he wanted Trubisky.
Did he?
He did. He wanted Trubisky.
And you couldn't get him for more than $7.5 million. That's what kind of struck my head. They kind of go.
Trubisky wanted to start, and he wasn't going to start there, but that's who he wanted.
If you're good enough, you would have beat up Danny Dimes.
Well, they're not going to dump who they have right now yet. But
why not?
I think he saw something.
That coach didn't draft him.
Well, I get it, but Dimes. I mean, it's a big investment.
I don't know, man.
I mean, how much? I think
he's on his rookie deal still. I think there was a little bit of a smoke screen. You might go off opinion, but to me, it's like Trubisky's he ain't the dude that's going to be beating Josh Allen and beating Mahomes. Even if he cleans up his accuracy and he's good, he just doesn't have the ability of those dudes. Never will.
Yeah, I get it. But again, it doesn't just sit in the ability. If you just do pure quarterback ability, who's the most gifted quarterback in the NFL?
Gifted?
Yeah.
To me, Josh Allen is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, name the top three.
If you want my god-awful opinion,
when you talk about just pure ability and gifting, like we've never seen anything like it.
I think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. That's just me personally. I would take him over any quarterback in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, I
would.
mean,
I love.
he's mobile. He's great. You have Mahomes. What do you do with Lamar Jackson? Head to head. What do you do with these guys? Lamar Jackson can do things that those two can't do.
I think Josh
He's
Allen
like
can do a lot of stuff. Lamar. I think Josh
but
Allen
he's
can do a
not.
lot of stuff.
But he's not Lamar Jackson as far as with his feet. I mean, he's mobile, but he's not like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson he's a freak. So here's my question. My thought. You got Lamar Jackson. When you talk about mobile quarterbacks and stuff like that, tell me the quarterback that got to the Super Bowl in the AFC this year?
Joey B.
Now, he's not even in the top 3 in the
I
league.
understand that, TJ. I understand that, but
But he
Mahomes
made
has
it.
been there Mahomes has been there for the past like 4 years.
He did, and he melted in the AFC Championship game. He did. He melted in the AFC. So it's more than just that one guy. So can Trubisky do something if he has a great defense and you have a stud running back?
Again, I think he could do something for a game.
Maybe.
I.e., see somebody like Cordell Stewart. Mm-hmm. I think he can do it for a game. Do I think he can put it together for 3 games in the playoffs against one of those dudes?
I don't know. Well,
I don't think he can.
He's not dueling against Mahomes. He's dueling against the Kansas City defense. He's now again. What scares me a little bit, you see the Bills picked up Von Miller. That stinks.
TJ, again, he's on the backside of. It's not like picking up TJ Watt.
No, I get it. But he doesn't have to be the guy. TJ, he just has to be the other guy.
What did Von Miller do for the Rams?
He didn't have to do much other than he was a presence on the other side.
But they had an all-pro coming from their side, and they had a beast in the middle. Oh, yeah. Who does Buffalo have come from the other side?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Do I think he's just on the back end. If put it this way, if they're expecting 500 snaps from him, if they don't use, if they have to use him like the Broncos used DeMarcus Ware when they got him late in the career. If they, but right. the difference is that defense was loaded when they had DeMarcus Ware.
It was.
Buffalo's defense is good. I don't think they have the other guy that he's going to be seeing doubles and triples, and I don't think he's. I think he's on the back end. He's no TJ Watt. He's no Myles Garrett. Yeah. Now,
I agree. So when you look even like at our division, you look at I think we compare the quarterbacks, but you have to look holistically at the team.
We can't compare the quarterbacks, and we can't compare the quarterbacks in our division. TJ Trubisky.
But no, I don't think we have to. I think you look at guys like when I look at the Ravens, they have injuries every year. Oh, they've had injuries every year. Well, yeah, but if you have them 3-4 years in a row like that, then it's a pattern. Does the Ravens defense frighten you?
They were beat up last year, man. They were beat up.
But we say that every year. Cleveland's defense. You got Myles Garrett. Does the Cleveland defense scare you?
They got some good pieces, TJ.
But do they scare you? Are you terrified by these guys?
Does the Steelers defense scare you?
It could. You put a couple more pieces in there, it could. It could be very scary.
What was the Steelers' Achilles heel for their defense last year?
The big guys up front. You put
Injuries.
big guy. Yeah, just 2 big ones. 2 big ones.
But what I'm saying is you're downplaying Baltimore's defense when they lost both of their corners the first week of the season.
I get that, but what I'm saying is, I don't think they could put pressure on the quarterback anyway. I think they struggle.
They have guys that can do that if they have anybody in their back and they can cover.
I get that, but I think they struggle. So I think sometimes we think of quarterbacks going head to head. And I get offense to offense, but there's other things that are at play too. I think a great example that's the Titans. They struggle a little bit down the stretch, but when you throw in guys like Henry that are equalizers, what do you do with guys like that?
But here's my thing: they will get you so far. That's why the Titans can't get past to get to a Super Bowl. That's why a team like Minnesota will never go anywhere because Kirk Cousins is there. A team like you have these teams that they have good teams, but their quarterbacks don't have that it factor.
But every once in a while, you get a Nick Foles or somebody that pushes you through. Every once in a while, it happens. Nick Foles, who's the better quarterback, Nick Foles or Tom Brady?
I agree with you, dude. I agree.
But you know what I got to watch all the time here in Philadelphia? That stupid Philly special. I got to watch it all the time.
But TJ, I don't want to take my chances 1 out of every 15 years. I'd rather take my pop of getting there all the time with somebody that's a superstar.
I get that, but so like, say if they would have brought in Deshaun Watson, what do you have to give up for the rest of your team? Is he enough if the rest of your team isn't ready to win? He's not.
That's the issue. I thought the team was. I thought you could bring. He's dirt. Okay. Let's get something straight off the head with him. Did I want him? Yes. Do I think he's a good guy? No. Do I think Seven was a good guy? Love him to death, but no, he wasn't a good guy.
He's rehabilitated, Tim. He's rehabilitated.
He is. He is. I agree with that. My reasoning behind Deshaun Watson wanting him, I thought he wanted to come to the Steelers. So the price tag, I think, would have been way lower than what the Browns paid for it. Does it frighten me to have to go against that dude? I've seen enough of him. He's very good, TJ. Do I think he's one of the dudes? He's one of the dudes that can compete with. They can make special things happen against like Mahomes and Josh Allen. Yeah, I do, TJ. Do I think if you put him if you would have brought him to the Steelers, even under his current contract, and you gave up 3 first-round picks, do I think they would have turned into an immediate Super Bowl contender? Yes, TJ, I do.
Yeah,
because guess what? Because everybody's complaining about their line. Steelers line stinks. Steelers line stinks. I get it. Guess when else their line stink? When Ben was young, and he made them look pretty damn good.
He did. Well, and then Burrow's line stunk too this year.
A quarterback can do that.
They can, absolutely.
So to me, it was like you pair him with those young people, and then the cap is going to go up. It's going to go up. By the time you would have had him at his deal, making $35 million a year, 3 years from now, you're gonna be like, that dude's on a deal right now with the way these quarterbacks are going. He just reset the market in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. If he's going to get $230 million guaranteed, making $50 million a year for having played a year, what do you think Burrow is going to get?
See, I don't know. I think you're going to have to see, because this makes football unique. Football is different than baseball. Baseball, you see this thing continue to escalate, and I think you see it creep up, but not just generically exponentially. I think I think it's a different ballgame. What's Burrow going to get? Is he going to get $240 million? Maybe not.
I mean,
him, Allen, Mahomes, at some point, some of these guys they'll cut bait. I mean, and I get what you need, but let's just say this. Let's say Burrow doesn't get back there in 2 years. I don't understand why. And I know Cleveland gave him all the money. Mm-hmm. The AFC is a meat grinder for quarterbacks. The NFC is wide open.
Here's my thing, TJ. He wasn't picking. You could say, he's picking with the team with the talent. He
went for the money.
TJ, this all came down to money. And anybody can tell you whatever. It came down to money.
But why not come out of New Orleans? Why not go to and I know this is not the greatest situation. Why not go to Carolina?
TJ, if you're Deshaun Watson and you're facing 22 civil cases and they're going to fork you over another $80 million guaranteed, even though it is Cleveland, you got to live there for the next 5 years. I could live in Cleveland for $250 million.
You could. I mean, here's the thing: wouldn't this be a kick in the gut if they sign him and give him all this guaranteed money, and something does turn out to where he's done?
Oh, it would be the most Cleveland thing ever.
I mean, you understand? He is one phone call. One video, I got this away from not playing football.
I agree. I mean, to me, it just tells you how, and it's funny because you've had Cleveland, DJ, they have pounded us for years because of Ben. Mm-hmm. It's hilarious hearing it now, hearing them say the same thing we say about Ben, but just it's the little stuff now, but. What is so slimy about this whole thing, out of anything, truthfully, the money, yeah, whatever, the picks, to me, I think the picks are fine. I would have probably given up the same amount of picks for him if I was the Steelers, just me personally. To guarantee his contract next year is only $1 million to start. That's it. That's all he's getting paid next year. is one of the most slimiest moves I've ever seen. Because you're basically saying he's going to be suspended for a year because of this crap he did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get him out of losing money. The rest of that contract, I'm only going to give him $1 million. So he's not forking over, his normal 45, 50 million bucks, where he'd be out the year being out 45, 50 million bucks because he's suspended by the league.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's one of the creepiest, slimiest, and it just tells you everything you need to know about Cleveland and the whole entire place.
Yeah.
To me, that was kind of when I heard that, I'm going, dude, that's just slimy, and I hope they get everything coming to them. I do.
I'll tell you what, if they give up all this and he something happens, it'll knock that franchise. They'll drop 10 years.
The only thing gets me nervous. The only thing gets me nervous about it is this: I don't want it to turn into. If he does and he plays well, I'm petrified it's going to turn into a Brady thing, where people are just going to take less money to go play for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things.
It's still Cleveland.
TJ, I mean, I get it, but
they don't have the prestige of the Patriots back in the day. It's still Cleveland.
If people are trying to go win a ring, they're going to go take less money.
Well, I mean, but think about this: if Deshaun Watson didn't change his mind, what organization screwed up? I mean, they started dumping people right away to clear up space, and then you alienate your then starting quarterback. If they don't get the get out of jail free card with Deshaun Watson, they're still the Browns. I mean, so at least the Steelers, say, we pick up Jack, okay, and then we release Schobert. We don't do it ahead of time. That's how you do it, to make sure you don't count you don't count your eggs until you see them. Oh, these are the eggs. This is what we have. Now we'll take care of this. What organizations? It's the organization.
I get it. I get it. But if you look at everything, the Steelers look like they're going to a gunfight with a knife. It's what it looks like. I mean, if people were like, it's okay, they'll just draft their next guy. TJ, you've seen it at a zillion different. We lived it.
Yeah.
We could be sitting in an era, TJ. We could be sitting in an era, like you said. Are you cool with getting to the Super Bowl once every 20 years and getting there and knowing you're not going to probably win it because you got a guy like Neil O'Donnell?
Yeah. Franchise quarterbacks don't grow on trees. You find them and you hold on to them.
So that was my main thing with Deshaun. I was like, you're going to pay a bunch, but dude, you're set for 13 years.
If it works out with him.
If it work, I get it. If it works out with him, but I think he would have had the structure in Pittsburgh to make it work out. If any place,
maybe.
Because you got Tomlin, you got the Rooneys, and trust me, I don't think the Rooneys would have. The Rooneys have enough, I'd say, balls. If he would have screwed up, gone, and they would have cut their losses.
Do you know? Did you ever hear the story of? Do you know that the Steelers?
They were shopping Ben left and right when all that stuff happened.
They were, and actually, he would have gone to San Francisco, and whatchamacallit, the former Bear Singletary, I believe, blocked the deal.
Yeah, but I also heard too that they wanted to trade him to the Rams when they drafted Bradford because Kevin Colbert was enamored with Sam Bradford. He had that number one pick. But I also heard that Kevin Colbert was the one who didn't want to draft Ben Roethlisberger. He wanted to draft a lineman, and the Rooneys overruled him.
Good.
So
that's good.
It's not good because he's searching for our next franchise quarterback.
He's done pretty good for us over the years. He's done pretty good.
He has, but he hasn't drafted. I mean, the guy. If that's a true story,
they just don't. They don't grow on trees, Tim. They don't grow on trees.
But teacher, you're not going to win championships unless you find one of those dudes.
I agree. So I think right now, I mean, when you look at the moves that they made, I think they did okay. Again, I think this is just a unique time in the NFL to have such a heavily. This reminds me of the NFC back in like the 90s when you had the juggernaut. You had the San Francisco teams, you had the Cowboys, you had Green Bay, all the power. Whoever won the NFC Championship game was probably going to win. The Super Bowl. You even had the Giants that would pop into there every once in a while. The AFC is it's loaded. It's just crazy. It's loaded. Um, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, this,
and again, you're going to battle with Mitchell Trubisky.
I don't think. I mean, you take Deshaun Watson off the table. I mean, there aren't many other things until you find your next quarterback.
But that was my whole thing, was like the one dude, like TJ, if you would have put, if they all had clean records and you put Rodgers, Wilson, and Deshaun and say, hey,
He's young. He's younger. You grab Deshaun.
I'm taking Deshaun in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if everything's clean. But I mean, when you look at the two of the three, only God knows what Rodgers. He's like the biggest diva on the planet. I like Russell Wilson. I think he's a solid dude. I just think he's solid. He stays out of trouble.
He's a solid dude, but I think I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is. He's good, but I don't think he is like, I think he's like he's in the top 10, barely.
I think he's phenomenal. I think the Seahawks are awful. I think they've been awful.
I don't know.
I just don't think they're.
Man.
I don't think they're a very good football team. I think when you had like like losing that Super Bowl the way that they did. I mean, I think he's better than Pete Carroll is who he is. I think he's a West Coast guy that's got all the talk. And then Deshaun, again, if he's clean, that's fine, but he's not clean. At any moment, things could kick back up, or something that they missed could kick up. I mean, there's too many counts. There's just too many of them. Even when he did the disposition,
it is.
Do you know how many times?
Is just so many.
Do you know how many times he said, "I plead the fifth"? I think it was like 124 times or 27 times. That was the whole thing. I plead the Fifth Amendment. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. Okay. So what happened? I mean, at some point, even I'll be honest with you too. Let's say that he is cleared and all that stuff, even legally, in the climate of our day and age now. I mean, what would keep some government sector people just to rally against that? He is the epitome of what people don't want to do.
I get it, but he's good at football. He just is. I want somebody good at football. Mitchell Trubisky, just TJ. I live here. I've seen him. He is just. He can't read a defense. He can't read a defense. I'm telling you, he can't do it. I think we got sold a bag of Doo-doo. A Doo-doo.
Well, maybe we did. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Tim, but wouldn't it be crazy if wouldn't it be nuts if he turns into that thing that maybe people thought he could be?
TJ, if he turned into what he he was picked before Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes.
You would own Chicago if he turns into that.
TJ, I would buy a Mitchell Trubisky jersey and I would wear it every day, 24 hours a day. I would. And I would purposely just walk around the neighborhood every day, even if it's really cold outside, snow. I'd be outside with my snowblower with my Mitchell Trubisky jersey on. I'd work. I'd be in work every day with my Mitchell Trubisky jersey on, taking plane rides with my Mitchell Trubisky jersey on.
You know what is sad about this, though? He is going to replace with having number 10, Cordell Stewart, who was, number 10 on the field, number 1 in our hearts. Cordell Stewart was our last, really prominent number 10. Well, I should say Antonio Holmes was great too.
But here's how confident I think Mitchell Trubisky is going to stink. I'm almost so confident he's going to, I would say stink, but he's going to be like not very good. I'm almost willing to like put a pinky on it. Like they'll never win a Super Bowl with Mitchell Trubisky.
Well, that's not
like a tip. I'll put a tip of my pinky on it. I mean, TJ, come on now. I mean, if I'm cutting my pinky off, like the Big Cat does it over the Super Bowl, I mean.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would be probably a safe. I mean, the AFC is a bloodbath. Now, every once in a while, things align, injuries, all those things happen and you get out. I mean, but it'll be interesting. Who do you think stronger, the AFC North or the AFC West?
A West. You kidding me? They're building. Dude, I think the Chargers are going to be beating on teams' faces. They basically cleaned. I mean, the Bears gave up like 4 picks, like 1 pick for Mac, and they just traded him for a second and a sixth. They're loading up. They got the corner. Their offense is already good. The Chargers are going to be very good, dude. And you got the rest of those teams out there, the Chiefs, you got the Raiders getting Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And I think they got the outside guy from somewhere else to match with that other team. That AFC, all four of those teams may go to the playoffs.
They might. But I mean, so you got to think at least probably two teams from the North are going to get in.
I don't think so. The Steelers are going to stink. They're going to be 500. We're going to be sitting here, me and you, next year debating. Hey, should they go back to Mitch from Mason? Just think about that crap.
I hope you're wrong. I mean, the only good thing about having everybody in your division good is they got to beat on each other. I mean, they got to play, all those other teams 6 times.
What the hell? Who cares that logic? That just means if they get in at 8-8, they're going to be beating everybody else's brains in.
Well, they beat each other up, and I mean, it doesn't. When you talk about wild cards and stuff like that, it's all about who you play, who you beat.
I agree with you. I mean, I thought, look at the schedule, we were going to have a couple easy wins. Now that these teams are getting stacked in the AFC, Tom Brady's coming back. I'm thinking, we're going to play Tampa with a guy like me playing quarterback. Now I see Tommy Terrific coming back. I was like, when I saw that, I go, that SOB. I was happy because Ben's going to have his own day, but I'm going, that SOB, he wants to come back and just play in Pittsburgh one more time to just stick it right in my face.
I got to say this, and just to be real, I think we started to see last year. He started to lose a little bit last year.
He was statistically the best quarterback in the league last year.
Well, I understand that, but he petered out toward the end.
TJ, I try to tell myself this year every year, and that dude comes back more younger, more robotic. It's like when somebody says that, it's like he takes the old skin off. He puts the new skin back on the robot, and he's trotting out there.
Hey, as much as I hate to say this, a little different without AB.
That dude, I saw him tweeting his broken English that he wants to go to the Browns now and win an Uber Bowl. He wants to win an Uber Bowl and be oblivious to the Browns. That's what it was on Twitter, just like that.
Well, I mean, I would love to bless them.
Not understand. He'd probably take a 1-year deal, thinking Deshaun Watson's playing this year, and he'll have
let him go.
He'll have some dude like me throwing him the rock and be like, "What's going on? I thought Deshaun was playing."
That's good. No, all right, Tim. This has been a long one, man. Anything else you want to add to tonight?
I don't know, TJ. I have been through such this whole thing, like. The whole week has been so just a range of emotions. I'm going Trubisky. I was so upset about that. And then when I finally figured out, watching him going to Cleveland and the whole thing with Baker, I mean, I was just it was hilarious. I was just laughing. I was like, Cleveland, this is Cleveland. This is it. I was like, the Steelers broke Cleveland. We broke them. And then, especially because all the crap from last year, TJ, or the year before, when I was dressed as a dog, I was very sad. It was not a good time for me. I was not in a good headspace.
That's true.
And then I get that news today, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my!" First initial was like, "Oh, what?" Everything that I was thinking when Deshaun Watson, the whole sweepstakes, I was going, "It's happening right in front of my eyes. We're going to be in the cellar for the next 10 years." And then I'm saying to myself, and then I try to talk myself out of it. I'm going, "We'll be okay. We'll be okay. Don't worry. We'll be okay." Like I'm putting scenarios in my head, like Mitch is going to be mediocre. We're going to draft the guy. He's going to come out of nowhere and be like, this dude is phenomenal. TJ, ain't none of that shit happening. We're going to be bad.
So let me ask you a question. What place did we finish in the division this year?
This year?
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're not going to finish last. What
did we finish the previous year?
Second.
What were we predicted to finish?
In my eyes or somebody else's eyes?
We were predicted to finish last, right? And statistically, the Ravens had a better team. The Browns, they always have this amazing team, and the Bengals had a better team, and we finished second. I think that the season has to play. It has to be what it is. Mark my word, ready for this? I'm going to give a prediction. The Steelers will grab Malik Willis, even if they have to trade up to get him. They're going to get him. The plan is Trubisky is going to be there. Malik's going to sit behind him for 2 years, and then he's going to be the guy. They're not going to pass up on him. They're going to take him.
Hey, TJ, guess what? If that happens, you'll see a huge picture of the big fella with his summer beach hat, Steeler hat on, with a cigar in his mouth, ready for a celebration.
I think it's going to happen. I think this is how it's going to lay out. All right, Tim. Well, again, don't forget, if you like the podcast, everybody, send along to your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, everybody. Again, we are the Yinzer Bros.
I'm happy. I am happy we did the podcast like this later. If we would have done it Monday, TJ, we would have never been able to post it to like YouTube, because I was a freaking mess.
You were. But now think of all.
I was ready to scorch the earth, scorch it.
So we'll see if something, some other big free agent things come back. We'll be back, so you'll get to hear from the Yinzer Bros. All right, stay classy, Pittsburgh.
Still number one out here.
That's debatable. I don't know. We'll see. See ya.